Hi guys. Something I talked about before and I'm going to get a little bit into again today is how I get my ideas. Now, I've had people ask me that who read my books, and I've had other writers ask me, like, how do you come up with this stuff? The key really is that I don't, not that I don't do any research, but it's kind of like I pick up things along the way that interest me and I just sort of collect it. And then it suddenly comes out in different ways within my writing. So, what are the resources? I guess that would be the best way to approach this particular video. What are my resources for this information? So, the beauty of today is there's so many places. You can go on social media. What's the trending topics on Twitter? What are people talking about? Like, don't you look at the trends, see what people are actually saying, you know? What are people saying about that specific topic? Are they for or against whatever it is? I'm not even gonna pick a topic here because it could be political or otherwise. Everyone's got an opinion. Look at that. Look at newsletters. Have a lot of different newsletters about topics that interest you. I have a lot. I have about the actual news, but I also have letters talking about technology, maybe spiritual stuff, food safety. I shouldn't say food safety, but eating clean sort of thing. Various topics. If you're into the environment, you should be because it's kind of important. Just whatever, sports, politics, whatever. As many of these newsletters that, of course, interest you. Don't pick any random newsletters. Pick the ones you like. And even just scan the topics. You may not read all the articles. You may just read a couple lines of the articles and just maybe skim it. But the important thing is to kind of be aware of what's going on. Because you know what? There's a lot of people who aren't aware of what's going on. And same thing with the news. Turn on the news a little bit here and there, see what's going on. Not just news-wise, but just socially. What are people talking about? Some people like those daytime talk shows. I don't. But a lot of people do. Even just turn on for a few minutes. And if you do, then that would be your source of information. Books are big. I like books. I have certain topics that I'm kind of drawn to, and I read them. Sometimes I pick up a book I like it, read it beginning to end. Other times I just kind of skim through, not really want to read the whole book, just to see what's being said, what's going on. Trying to think. I had a list and put it somewhere. I don't know what it is. Where else would you get ideas? What are your friends talking about? What's your family talking about? What are people talking about? Work. What's their opinions? Do you find the opinions about one topic where you live maybe a little different from somewhere else that where you know people? City to country, people, some places are more conservative, more Bible Belt, other places are more, I'm not even sure the word to use. It just depends. You're gonna get different opinions depending on the environment, right? So you kind of look at that kind of thing. Look at what are people talking about on the radio. Podcasts. I love podcasts. I listen to different ones, especially independent journalists. I want to see what they have to say. What are people commenting underneath? I kind of skim through that a little. I don't get into it a lot because sometimes it's whole dumpster fire. I don't want to see people bitching and complaining. But just kind of skim through and it's interesting. Whatever topics interest you, because that's probably what you're going to end up writing about. So if there's a topic that interests you, a group that discusses that topic, say you're into vampires, you can join maybe a group where they talk about vampire books or, on Facebook or wherever. I don't know. Just look for what interests you. But if it's a news story, always kind of look at both sides. One of the things that kind of captivated me, there was a story once, not too long ago, and I won't get into the details a lot. However, it was, we'll just say, a Canadian, because I think it was, went to Mexico, because, I follow what's going on in Mexico, Mexican character, kind of my thing. So he went to Mexico, he was killed. I kind of think, although I wasn't paying as much attention to the story, maybe I should have, from what was reported here. It was like, oh, he was murdered, just kind of as a warning if you go there. And then I kind of stumbled across a story about the same story, same idea, topic, I should say, not same story, from a Mexican news source. And it was a little bit different. It kind of talked about how the guy was found. He was dead. He was Canadian. Yes, they agreed on that. And then it went on to say there was a little note left saying, I forget what the word is because I'm still learning Spanish, but I'm not great at it yet. But it's essentially translated to the fact that he was a pedophile. That's not saying he was. That's why I'm not getting to the specifics of the story. I don't know. Again, I'm not 100% knowledgeable, but kind of grabbed my attention because that was vastly different from what I had heard before. Didn't hear that part. So, you know, and of course, that's another thing. If you read a newsletter or follow the news in another country, what they consider something that they may share, it might be different from where you are. So I think our news here tends to be a little more conservative in what they will give out in details, whereas maybe Mexico, not so much. They might be a little more, here's a dead body, we're going to show it to you, you know. we probably wouldn't do that here. That's what I mean. You know, depending what you're looking at, where you're looking at, what the source is, you're going to see different sort of perspectives, and that's good. You don't have to agree with all this perspective, but you have to kind of acknowledge they're there, right? You know, those are just some of the many sources. And with the internet, it's unlimited. You know, the newsletters, the groups you can join on Facebook or wherever, the social media, the people you can talk to that you know all over the world. You can meet new people from all over the world. I'm on a pen pal site. I meet people who are from all over the place. Very interesting to find out what their life is like compared to mine. We take a lot of things for granted, I think, sometimes. When you talk to somebody who lives in maybe a poorer country than you do, or whether the climate's vastly different, their life may be vastly different as well for various reasons. They aren't dealing with a snowstorm in December, maybe, like you might be here if you're in Canada. Anyway, I'm getting kind of rambly, but the point is you have to look at every different source. And again, you may not agree with all those sources, but listen to what people are talking about. What's important to people, what's in the news, what is being discussed in television, talk shows, whatever you have to enjoy. What topics are coming up in TV shows? You know, what kind of movies are out there? What are people watching? What are people saying about those movies? These are all things that I think are important, and if you kind of take all this information in, what interests you will grab you, what's important to you will grab you, and you will find that will work its way into your story. All your characters may have vastly different opinions depending where they're from over that topic. That's good. That's why you have to take in as many sources as you can. Make sense? I hope so. Thanks, guys. Go to mimaonfire.com. Like and share this video. Have a great day.